Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Selena. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if it's your first time. So I got this idea for this video while I was in the other room, and the movie, The Shawshank Redemption, entered my mind because I thought of the main character, Andy Dufresne, who's played by Tim Robbins. The other main character is Morgan Freeman. And sidebar, this is also one of my favorite movies. If I had to give a top 5 list, this is definitely in that top 5 list. I love this movie. I first saw it when I was 12 years old. I remember the specific day that I saw it. It was the last day of school of 7th grade year, and I was at my dad's house. He picked me up from school, and I was at his house for a few hours until he was going to drive me back to my mom's house after she got off work. So I was the only one at the house, and we had the VCR. He had the shelf of videos, and had always seen this video on the shelf. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. So I watched it, loved it, I cried, got emotional, my little 12-year-old self, and it stayed with me forever. So with this video, I thought of how the character was working towards ultimately his escape. And if you haven't seen the movie, I am gonna spoil it. If you don't mind, then stay with me. Also, if you are enjoying this video, please give a like, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you and have you be a part of this journey. I really wanna build this channel even further and get these messages out. So thank you so much. And when it comes to the character building towards his escape from prison, he is literally working on this plan over the course of many, many years, like over a decade. He literally has a little chisel and he's chiseling through the wall of his jail cell. Now, we don't see this during the course of the movie. It's not until after he escapes, and Morgan Freeman, who he builds a close friendship with in prison, they see and understand like how he got out. They uncover the escape because the prison guards and the warden, they were like, he's escaped, where is this man? And they go into the jail cell and they're like, well, how did he get out? And they see this big poster and there's a hole, and they realize, oh, he literally crawled his way out of prison. Like, he crawled through a sewage pipe and got his way out. And so when I thought about it, it's like when it comes to building and working towards a vision or a dream, recognizing that we have to be willing to put in the work, to be patient, to have that tenacity to continue onward, and to not allow ourselves to be detracted from the vision that we have. And in his case, it's like his vision was, I don't want to stay in jail for the rest of my life. Like, for one, he's like, I didn't even commit the crime that they say I did, allegedly. And he's like, I'm not going to stay in this space. I'm not going to rot away for the rest of my life. And when I thought about our life and the dreams and the goals and the things that I'm working towards, I just realized that even from past experiences that I've been through, understanding that there is a process when it comes to our lives and who we are building ourselves to becoming, that there are stages to allowing ourselves to put in the work, to be patient, to grow, to gain the lessons that we need to become the person that we are meant to be, that elevated self, that new version of us that we are always building towards, or ideally we should be building towards. So we shouldn't feel stagnant and just complacent with wherever we are. Like, there's always more to grow, and to sustain. When I think of like Michelle Obama, I don't know if you've ever read her memoir, but it's really inspiring. When I look at what she and her husband Barack Obama have created in Chicago, you know, the Obama Presidential Center, which I have on my list. I have to go to it when I take my next visit to the States. I have to go to Chicago, I have to see it. And I look at, they had the vision of this place, and this has been under construction for several years, but it started with a vision, with an idea, and they stayed with this and they built this place, and now it's open, and this is their legacy. This is what will be here even after they're gone. Like, they have created something of value, of sustenance, of elevation for not just the people of Chicago, but for people all over the US, all over the world, because I know they're going to get visitors from all over the world who are going to come and experience this beautiful place in Chicago. So I thought about, when it comes to building something or staying inspired, staying committed to a process, I actually thought about, this is just to share something personal. I have always, even as a kid, I've always loved music. I always liked playing instruments. My family didn't have money for me to get actual lessons, but there was a point in my life when I had to move back to the States, back to Cleveland. I was at the time in Mexico, but things didn't work out. So I was like, had to call my mom, had to humble myself and say, Mom, things didn't work out, and I cannot stay here as long as I thought I was going to. So she graciously allowed me to move back in, and you know, we came to an arrangement and agreement about how this would look. But one thing that I decided to do at her place when I was living there was to immerse myself in playing the keyboard, to really dive into a hobby and interest that I have for so many years. I'm not the best at reading music, like straightforward. I can look at it in pieces and then play from there, but I always play by ear. So one thing that I did, and I still have the sheet music to this day, there's one piece of music from Beethoven called Moonlight Sonata, which I'm sure you probably heard of it. I'm gonna try to do the melody, but it goes like, you know it, you know the melody, but if not, look up Moonlight Sonata. But I always liked it because when I was in high school, Alicia Keys' first album came out, Songs in A Minor, and her intro has the first few measures of that. And I was like, oh, I always love that, I love it, I love it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to commit myself to learning how to play Moonlight Sonata. And I printed out all 4 pages of sheet music. I still have them 1, 2, 3, 4. I marked down, you know, I played the clarinet in high school, so I have an understanding of like the notes and where they fall, the sharps and what have you. But as far as like reading the music and playing simultaneously, haven't built that skill. But I was like, I'm just gonna take it measure at a time. And I spent 6 months and I was able to completely play this song on the keyboard. And I was like, wow, like I did it. And it was a moment that I was like really proud of, because I was like, I could have just given up. I could have been like, but I was like, no, I need this because I want to play this. I want to have this sense of like committing to something that matters to me, something that I enjoy. I love music. And for me, like this was my opportunity, or I guess my Dufresne moment, where I'm like, I'm going to commit, whether it takes me 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, I'm gonna play this piece from beginning to end. And I did it, and I realized that the more I played, it became a very therapeutic process for me. I was able to just immerse myself and put my energy into music, into something that I'm very passionate about. And yeah, I could understand how, like, when I see people at like a piano concert or performance, how they can play without the music, because there does come a point where the more you play it, you don't really need the music because your body has the muscle memory of how to play it. So I would say I'm a very muscle memory kind of player and sort of an improviser, but I love it, and I can't imagine life without music. And also just owning, like, it's okay, like whether or not you can read music well or not, but you can just play by improvising. Like I heard that Jimi Hendrix, he didn't know how to read music, but he played amazing on the guitar. So all that to say, stay committed to your goals, to your dreams. Keep the faith, keep the vision in mind, whether it's going to take you 5 months, 6 months. I feel that any dream that is calling to your heart, any dream that you can envision, is worth the work that goes into making that dream come into fruition, to coming into creation. So let it happen, let it be, allow it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Give a like, subscribe, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow. Let's do it. So thank you, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.